Good morning, everybody. This is Bob Iacchino along with Mike Arnold. It is June 20th. This is an AM Path Chat covering the FX markets. Just some quick overnight news before I turn it over to Mike to give you an update on what currencies have been doing. The pound was trading about 126.93 at a little after 5 a.m. Eastern Time. And that was the lowest level since the Bank of England supplies the market with a split decision on rates on their monetary policy. It was supposed to be a 7-1 vote, came out a 5-3 vote. But Mark Carney this morning said that Brexit worries mean he is in no rush to tighten policy, and the pound fell. That was the key line, obviously, so Mark Carney speaking dovishly. UK Fraud Office is charging Barclays and 4 former executives, including their former CEO John Varley, with conspiracy to commit fraud in relation to the bank's 2008 capital raising from Qatar. The case is associated with fees that Barclays paid to the Qatar Investment Authority and a $3 billion loan facility, $3 billion, it made available to the nation while it raised money. Overnight, the MSCI, which is the global stock index, has decided to include China's domestic stocks in its benchmark index after the New York close today. So starting tonight, the MSCI will include China's domestic stock market. Now that market has underperformed this year, and it's had a negative correlation with the MSCI All Country World Index. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. We don't know the weighting as of yet. Speaking of the MSCI, overnight it rose 0.1% to close at a 2017 high. Japan's Topics added 0.7% overnight. The yen was a little bit weaker. The stock 600 in Europe was 0.2% higher, and U.S. stocks right now are pointed at a higher open. In terms of our Fed, the dollar rose yesterday. We got some hawkish comments from William Dudley. I talked about this a little bit in yesterday's afternoon Path Chat. He was saying that the expansion has a long way to go, and he also said that he believes inflation will be pushed up by wages in very short order. Chicago Fed President Charles Evans said fundamentals look good, but he was a little bit more dovish, as he always is. Charles Evans is considered the most dovish of the Fed governors. Tons more Fed speak coming this week, so let me turn it over to Mike to give you levels. Mike, it is all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Euro US dollar caught in a horizontal channel at the bottom end of the range. We have a defining point coming in at 111.38. We're watching for a close below that to shift out of this horizontal channel, and we'd also like to see it get below the 111.61 area. Then we're into a clear path, which we can call it some targets if that does happen. Until that happens, though, this key area of the 111.37 is holding. So on a pullback, 111.37, first level support. Then we have another level coming in at 111.24 to 111.14. So there's a lot to get through right in this area before it heads lower. If it does break through all this, you can watch for a possible run down to the 50 exponential moving average coming at 110.82 area as of this recording. On a rally back up, to get above today's current highs, 111.64. Next really major area of resistance, 111.80, 81 area is going to be very key. Does get through that 112 to 112.05 is the next level higher. And on a substantial rally, we'd be watching for 112.36. Pound US dollar came up into the rotation zone, the declining rotation zone multiple times, and now is headed back down. We're watching for it to retest these most recent swing lows coming in at 126.35. So you see it below our trend line right now. 126.35 next level. Beyond that, 126.21. Then we'll be watching for the 125.58 area, then the 125.36 area where we have a GAN level and a flat 200, slightly rising but flattening 200. If it does rally back up, watch for resistance at a trendline area and the 12.5% GAN retracement levels coming in right around 126.80 to 85 area. Then we're watching for 127.06 Then we have major resistance coming in about this 127.26 to 127.42 area, declining 8 and a prior key level up there. Switching over to the US dollar, Japanese yen. Closed yesterday above the trend line, but not into a clear path, right on a significant level, 111.63. Ran up to another significant level today, 111.79 to 80 area, which was also prior very key resistance. So far turned back down. So in a rally back up, watch for 111.63, 111.79. Those are going to be your key levels. If it does get above there, then we can go into a clear path, and we're watching for some much higher trading. First level above that we'd be watching for is the 112.08 and the 112.28. If it continues this pullback, right now it's trading at the defining point of this trend line, which comes in at 111.41. We get below that 111.22, then we have a significant level, and again level coming in at 110.92 area, slightly below that a rising 110.86. So that's going to be very key support. Switching over to the US dollar Swiss. Finding some consistent resistance right around the 97.54 area. So if we rally back up, this 97.54 area is going to be key. Then we'll watch for a retest of the defining point on the redrawn trend line coming in at 97.70. If we do get above that, not much of a clear path, but the end to it goes to 97.85 area. So that will be our next target, followed by 97.95, which comes in at the scan level and is also prior minor resistance. If it moves back lower, really significant area, 97.29. We have a significant level, and the 21 and 8, and kissing the trend line goodbye, all in that area of about 25 to 29. If we do break below that, watch for a possible move down to 96.94, which is another significant level, which was also ties in with yesterday's lows, and on a major move below that, 96.74. Aussie US dollar been consolidating some very major resistance up around our defining point, 76.29. So it rallies back up and gets through today's highs that come in at 76.23, 76.29. If we do get through there, we'll be watching for 76.35, but there's a major resistance in this area. If we head back lower to test today's lows, 75.85 is going to be key to 75.83. We have the rising 8. If we do get below that, we'll be watching for 75.69 to 75.66 area. Then on a major drop, we'd be watching for about 75.39 to 36, where we have the rising 21 and dueling GAN levels. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Couldn't push yesterday below our significant level, 131.87. So far rallying back up, finding some resistance, 132.78 to 80 area. If we do get back up through there, we'll be watching for 132.97 to 133.05. Then on a more substantial rally at 133.31. If we do pull back, have some decent support. It's going to come in about this 132.58 to 55 level. Right in here, getting below that, we'd be watching for a return to 132.11 and then the 131.87 area. Finally, US dollar, Mexican peso. So far headed up today, right now trading at a key level of 1807.21, where we have a prior breakdown level and a GAN level. If we get through that, 1812.83's next level. Right above that, we have 1815.57, new defining point on the trend line. So that's going to be a key target area. And if we get above that, we're into a clear path move, which we'll be watching for the upper end of the rotation zone coming in at 1823.61. On a pullback, 1801.29 first level. Then we'll be watching for the 1792.12, followed by the 1789.74 areas. That's all we have for you. Back to you, Bob.
Thanks for that, Michael, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out our Bitcoin update if you're into cryptocurrencies. We'll be covering other cryptocurrencies if something comes up in them. We had another crypto trade hit its target. So check that out if you're interested, and hit like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for being here.